Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my 36-week bump date. Can you believe we're already here? The last month of pregnancy, the home stretch. So next week at 37 weeks is considered early term or at term and no more preemie status if he were to come. So I've got, well, as I'm filming this, about half a week left, or no, 2 days left to reach to that point. But I'm extremely excited and ready to have little Connor, and I'm feeling pretty dang great. I'm very blessed for that. And honestly, half the time I don't even feel pregnant, so I look in the mirror and it's like, whoa, he's really popping out there. He's way out in front. And this week, fun fact, is the tallest my uterus will get. From this point, it drops slightly and just grows out. So he's completely, for like 99.9% of the way, finished developing. And he is just gaining weight from here. He gains I think 1 ounce a day from here or something like that. So he's just getting a little chunkier. And this week we also had our very last ultrasound and just kind of doctor's appointment, and that last one Cody can go to. And then the next one's from here, just every week, just doing checkups. And then once we hit 40 weeks, we go twice a week, and we'll also talk more about the induction date here later in the video. Also film what's in my diaper caddy, postpartum kit, and breastfeeding kits. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. 36 weeks and feeling great. I had my very first foot cramp a few days ago, or I guess it was last week, and it just felt like my toes were gonna just come off. And I mean, it was just like my foot was just spasming so bad, right? Like the ring finger toe. I don't know what you'd call that on my right foot. And it's just the muscles are going crazy and it hurts so bad. You just have to breathe through it and just hope it goes away. I've never had any round ligament pain. My hips feel fantastic, no hip pain. My back is feeling great. I'm still able to move around and exercise. I've been luckily maintaining that this entire pregnancy. And this third trimester I've been trying to do the Kegels or pelvic floor exercises to prepare for labor. I've been trying to eat 6 dates a day, which helps ripen your cervix and help with dilation since I'm kind of not progressing with that. And I've been bouncing on my exercise ball and just kind of staying moving, even through contractions. Yes, contractions. I'll get more into that in a minute, but yes, I've just been very fortunate. Nothing crazy is happening to me. I am getting like the stretch marks at the very, 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 very bottom of my stomach, and I think that's because he's dropped, and my skin just has given up. But it's very, very faint, hard to see. Into his stats. So at 36 weeks, he's 19.3 inches long and weighs 6.3 pounds. He's the size of a watermelon now, and a lamb. His lungs are fully developed now and ready to be used for breathing air. My placenta weighs 1.5 pounds now. I think the only thing that's finishing developing is his toenail length. I think his toenails, like the whites at the top, will be starting to be apparent in 2 weeks. And I think that's when they stop developing, and his immune system's finished developing. There's one other function that's like finishing up, and I can't remember what it is. But for the most part, like he's done. My shoe size has increased by half a size. That is fascinating. The doctor says that usually stays put. So I have a really large foot and a really big shoe size for a woman. I'm size 9, which I know isn't crazy, but I'm 5'5", so that's kind of a disproportion for my body, but I wear a size 9 and now I'm a 9.5. It's not enough of a change to actually like go out and buy new tennis shoes, but for flip-flops, my heel hangs over the back, so I may have to do some readjusting for that. Luckily flip-flops are cheap and you normally replace them frequently anyway, especially during the summer. So Connor's feet have been staying here in my ribs this past week lately, and even more so than last week. And every now and then I feel a little baby butt just poke up right here, and it's like a hard little mound. These little tush, it's so cute. I just like rub it and then he puts it back down. But he'll have like his butt just poke out like right here or here. It is so cute. It's just a little baby booty, and it just kills me every time. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The only thing I don't love, and I know I'm super, super grateful for pregnancy and him and healthy, is the hiccups that he gets. I can't stand them. And he gets them so many times during the day. I'm talking like 3 or more times, and they each last like 20-30 minutes. And they're definitely hiccups. But it just basically, my best way to describe it, you know how when your eye is twitching and it's just driving you nuts? It's like that, but on the inside of your uterus. And it just, oh, you're like, I just want to run into a wall. It drives you up like insane. But that's okay. I'll handle the hiccups all day for a healthy baby. It means he's getting enough oxygen to his brain. This week I've been craving orange juice. That was probably partly because I'd been sick and I'm just now over that, and probably my body's way of saying it needs vitamin C, help him, help me, whatever. The other day, for the first time, I must be visibly pregnant, 2 guys stood up and gave me their seat when we were waiting at Panera for our food for the very first time ever. And I was just so excited. I was like, I don't need to sit down, but I'm going to take this opportunity, because when do you ever get to have someone like, oh, her condition, let me give up my seat. It's like, okay. So I sat down and I was just smiling from ear to ear. It's like, I've gotten the full pregnancy experience now. I can have Connor. I was just so happy. I didn't know that really happened. Very sweet. Okay, I'll give you the look at my letter block picture. Ta-da! So, as I mentioned, this week, Cody and I went to the doctor for our very last ultrasound. It's bittersweet. I am excited because the next time we see him will be in person, but I just was like, man, I want to have more ultrasounds. It could be another, 4 to 5 weeks before seeing him, possibly, so it's like, and the ultrasound tech was okay. She only gave us 1 picture, and the ultrasound was so short, and I was like, wait, I didn't see, can I see, is this, and this? And she's like, oh, I already saw that. I'm like, well, I didn't, I'm inexperienced, can I look at that again? She's like, oh, my next person's here. It's like, okay. I know at the doctors, they're truly just looking for medical stuff, but it's like, so Cody and I were slightly disappointed, but I was glad Cody was there with me. This was the ultrasound picture I got. You can just see the side profile of his face, his nose, lips, chin. He was swallowing amniotic fluid when we saw him in person. You see, there's his nose, mouth. I mean, it was so dark. And then some people say this is sufficient enough where they don't have to get a 4D ultrasound. No. I'm gonna say no to that. I'm gonna call it BS. Because this is nothing compared to a 4D ultrasound. Night and day different. Yep. And then, so, he is head down. Praise the Lord. He'll probably stay that way. Hopefully. He's sunny side up, so he's facing this direction instead of facing my spine. They want him facing my spine whenever you give birth because it's easier to push. There's not as much issues of him getting stuck. So we've got to figure out ways. I don't know how you spin a baby like that direction, because normally it's the flipping, you want him head down, but never usually this problem, so I have to do some research. I've got to get him like spun for labor, because I want to set myself up the best I can to not have a C-section. Is 6 pounds and 7 ounces, a little ahead from the average. Heart rate was 165 beats per minute. His right foot still looks amazing. We got to see the toes on his left foot. We saw the fingers on his right hand. My amniotic fluid level was great. It was at 10 centimeters. They measure it in quadrants and not even like in liquid measurements. It's like measurement, like ruler measurements. So it's just strange. So it was 10 centimeters. They went between 8 and 20, so that's fantastic. Overall, he's in the 57th percentile in growth, which makes sense because he's slightly above average for weight. That means I'm doing a great job keeping my sugar in check since I have a slight sugar intolerance from the not gestational diabetes, but the failing the 1 hour. He's not measuring a week ahead anymore. He was exactly 36 weeks in like a few days, and that's exactly where I was at. My blood pressure still is great. I'm not having any swelling yet. Praise the Lord. My blood pressure is 112/64. My rings are still loose and still fit. what point in your life do you gain X amount of weight, like more than you would ever normally gain, and for the most part, besides the stomach area, your clothes still fit, your rings still fit, everything still fits, and it's crazy. So it's just pregnancy is so strange, and it's neat to see the weight gain breakdown of like what you gain and where for your pregnancy. You know, like the placenta weighs a certain amount, the fluids, breast tissue, milk, blood volume, baby, everything. So it's just fascinating because they say like right after birth or 2 weeks after, you're down like 15 pounds just from everything. So that's just interesting. But yeah, so no swelling, thank the Lord, and I know that can come on quickly, especially towards the end, around 38 weeks, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. You know, my feet look great, ankles look great, arms, fingers, face, for the most part. So, okay, so I was dilated a fingertip amount, which is a little less than 1 centimeter, so not even enough to like really write down. With that being said, they don't want you coming in to be induced at whatever point, not progress at all. And obviously if you go to 42 weeks, they have to do something. Either probably C-section if you haven't made any progress. But I'm at 36.5 weeks as I'm filming this, and at my doctor's appointment, and I'm barely progressed, which can be normal. Like you can go from 0 to 10 in like hours, so it's nothing really to note, but I'm not like from week to week really progressing as much as I feel like I am, and you don't want to be induced like that because it just can lead to a C-section. You want to have some progress. So we're just going to go week by week and monitor how I'm doing, how he's growing, and if he's getting too big, if I'm progressing well, then maybe we can lean towards that induction around 39, 40 weeks. And then with all the tips and tricks, nothing's happening, then I'll just have to wait till like 41 weeks to induce and hopefully avoid a C-section, because I don't want to go past 41 weeks. Your placenta ages out. That can be dangerous to the baby and you. But yeah, so I was hoping to have it for sure set, like we're going to induce June 10th, but it's not looking like that, so we're just going to take it week by week and hope my body gets the memo, and I already feel like things are progressing internally at least a little bit, because this whole last week, about every other day, I've been having, I call them contractions basically. They're further than Braxton Hicks. They are like cramping, and they're painful. They're in the lower part of my stomach and my back, and his movements hurt so bad. I don't know if he's strong or he's out of room or what. I was asking my mother-in-law about that, because like, how was Cody as a, you know, in your stomach? Because he was also presenting sunny side up even though he was a planned C-section. And she said it was just horrible. They basically, her sons beat her up in the very end of pregnancy, and they gave her lightning crotch where they kicked the inside of her cervix, which is very much happening to me, and it's like crippling, and it sends shockwaves and you just want to scream. So I'm experiencing that, so I'm glad to know at least that's normal, because everyone I asked were like, no, it's just pressure and a little bit of pain. No, this is like straight up, I'm not a wimp, but like he's busting out like the most painful movements and kicks and jabs, because I get lightning crotch constantly now, and just out of the blue, I like about screamed in the middle of the restaurant the other day, because it's like, oh my gosh, I literally don't know what to do to get this to stop. And it's been so intense, and the cramping, so I've just been uncomfortable. And I know that's pre-labor, I know that does not indicate he's coming anytime soon, but it's something. My body's preparing, my body's practicing, he's getting ready. I need him to keep dropping lower, preparing my cervix and for dilation. I need him to just help me help him and get this show on the road, because it's about time. I was born right around this time in my mom's pregnancy, so let's go. It'd be great to reach the 37-week mark. I think that would be perfect. And Cody's hoping to reach the 39-week mark, because that just works out a little bit better for his work schedule. And honestly, I'm just ready to meet him. I'm not that uncomfortable at all. I'm just so ready to meet him. I'm just so happy. But anyway, on to the postpartum kits, diaper kits, and breastfeeding kits. Alrighty, we're going to go through the diaper caddy, breastfeeding kit that I put together, and postpartum kit, which I'll have here in a second. Let's start with the breastfeeding kit. So I have one upstairs and downstairs, because our house Our master bedroom's upstairs, and I'll be spending a lot of time up here in the nursery and in my bedroom. So it makes sense to duplicate everything. So for my breastfeeding bag, I have some snacks because they say that you get really hungry when you breastfeed. And I've got some lactation cookies downstairs I need to bring up here for the bag. Just something to help your milk supply. A passy if the baby needs it during, after feeding or whatever. You don't have to get up and go anywhere. And I'll always have my water bottle filled up with ice water next to me to stay hydrated. Because they say you get very thirsty too while breastfeeding. I've got a burp cloth. That's a precious deer antler print. A muslin burp cloth. And all that's to wipe up spit up too. These are like little gel or heat little gel cooling or heating packs that go around your breast and kind of helps with milk stimulation or pain. Plenty of nursing pads. And I've got these type of milk collecting nursing pads, if you will say. They're plastic and they just fit over you and they collect any milk that is leaked, and you can save that and make breast milk popsicles for teething later on or whatever you wish to do with that milk so it's not wasted. And I have some organic nipple balm, or nipple butter from Earth Mama. It's kind of like chapstick for your nipples. And this is, if I do pump, this will go attached directly onto the pump, and it can pump it directly into a bag where you can store in the freezer. Oh, and of course the Haka. This is the most that isn't a pump. And so basically, you put this on the side that you're not feeding on, and all it does is catch the letdown that otherwise would be just leaked. So it just kind of collects extra milk while you're pumping. Pretty cool. They say to start using that, I think, 2 weeks after you establish breastfeeding, because at first, your milk hasn't even come in yet. So that's the breastfeeding kit. And the identical one is downstairs. I just need to get some lactation cookies in here. Next, my diaper kit, or Caddy. So this is my awesome diaper bag. You can fit lots of different things in here on the sides. I've got 2 sizes of diapers, depending on how long he's in newborn size or if he is at all. Size 1 and plenty below. Got a full pack of wipes and many, many, many other packs in the closet and in the drawer below. I've got butt paste, and this that wipes the butt paste on his bum. Little teether for later on for him to play with while I change his diaper. Keep him occupied. Pacifier clip, just to kind of put in his mouth if he's fussy during a feeding. Petroleum jelly. Always have that near the diaper kit. A little PPTP. I know it's extra. No one really uses it, but I don't know. It's precious. You put that there so he doesn't splash you while you are changing him. More diaper cream. I'm not sure what this is. Someone got a buttocks ointment, so who knows. We'll see what works best for him. And that's pretty much it. When he gets older, we'll probably put some actual toys in here to keep him occupied. And, of course, switch out the sizes of diapers as he grows. Postpartum kit. One downstairs and upstairs, like I said. So, first things first. I went with the big box of Freedom Mom supplies. This came in with it. There's many things that go in this box that kind of help with your first, week or two of postpartum when you're bleeding the absolute most. So some essentials that I don't know, honestly, if it's going to be useful or not. I'll kind of do an update later to tell you, but always have full-size trash bags, because your small trash cans will fill it fast, and just to keep everything smelling fresh in your bathroom. So have trash bags that can be taken out quickly and easily. You can even do medium-sized ones so you can take it out more frequently and not waste bags. A pill case, which I'll have some Advil in here for just kind of aches and pains postpartum, because once you give birth, you can start taking Advil again. The best pain reliever, in my opinion. I've got granny panties here. 2 pairs of granny panties. The Always brand, they're not really adult diapers because they are super thin, and it's just basically you just pull them on like underwear and it has a pad inside. Like, and it protects you at night when you're laying down, which is great. I used to have extremely heavy periods, and I would have appreciated that back then as an early teen, but hey, it would be so bad that I would just leak no matter how many pads I wore, because it just, you know, you can't control where you bleed when you're laying on your side, on your back, whatever. Got an extra thing of the perineal healing foam, because the one that comes in here is really small. Some extra Tucks cooling pads. I think they're originally used for hemorrhoids, but of course after birth that is going to be much needed for just recovery, not hemorrhoids. But it has witch hazel in it, little pads you just put, I think, over the pads in there. And I've got some other like thick overnight pads too to put in like the granny panties. In the cool Frida bag, which also came with hospital gown, hospital socks, really cool. There are 2 packs of these instant cold therapy, like thick pads. You just kind of break and then put in your underwear, and it kind of just cools everything like the first day or 2 after birth, where everything hurts. More of that healing foam. Those are the kind of granny panties that came with this kit. These are perineal cooling pad liners, kind of like the witch hazel Tucks, same brand. There's just more of it. This is the little water squirter thingy, whatever you call this. I don't know the proper name for postpartum. Like, the hospital gives you plenty of these, but they're not angled, and you need it to be angled because when you're going to the bathroom, and while you're going, you have to be squeezing and squirting, and it's supposed to go like right where you need it to. And if you have just this small little stemmed straight bottle, that it's not going to reach where you need when you're desperately needing it. So you just spray that as you go to the bathroom with cold water, warm water, whatever. Figure if I need more, if I don't use all of this, I can of course use it for the next baby, because our babies will be, Lord willing, close in age. So yeah, so I just got extra ones of those for upstairs / downstairs. Extra foam. Downstairs I believe I have, oh, I have Dermaplast spray instead of this for downstairs, because basically that just heals on contact, and the Dermaplast does the same thing. And this bottle will probably run out. It's kind of a smaller bottle. But we'll see. Who knows how long I bleed. They say you can bleed up to 6 weeks or more, or just the 2 weeks, or just a few days. So we'll see. My body prefers to bleed when it can, so I'm expecting a heavy flow, but we'll see. 36-week bumped. 36 whole weeks, can you believe it? Moving on up. Pretty cute, look at that. Look at little Connor.